Italy, the place of beauty and beautiful history, certainly. Italy has experienced several flash flooding disasters. Italy is a country that is prone to flash floods, as it has a varied geography that includes the Alps, the Apennines, and the Mediterranean coast. One of the most severe floods occurred in the northern Emilia-Romagna region in May 2023, which claimed many lives. Another recent disaster was caused by Storm Ciarán in November 2023, which left 7 people dead and caused €300 million, £260 million, of damage based on initial estimates. These are just a few examples of the devastating impact of flash flooding in Italy. Storm Ciarán was a powerful storm that swept across Europe in November 2023, causing flooding and landslides in several countries. In Italy, the storm affected the central region of Tuscany, where 21 rivers burst their banks and submerged entire towns. The flooding caused significant damage to property and infrastructure, with hundreds of people forced to evacuate their homes and others left without power. The disaster claimed the lives of 7 people, while one person was still missing more than a day after the storm. The Italian government declared a state of emergency in response to the disaster, which caused an estimated €300 million of damage.
Voyez là, complètement parti.
The impact of Storm Ciarán in Italy was devastating, with entire towns being submerged by floodwaters and hundreds of people being forced to flee their homes. The disaster claimed the lives of several people and caused significant damage to property and infrastructure. The Italian government has taken several measures to mitigate the impact of flash flooding, including investing in flood prevention infrastructure and improving early warning systems. However, more needs to be done to protect the country's citizens from the devastating impact of flash flooding. The Emilia-Romagna floods of 2023 were another flash flooding disaster that occurred in Italy, but in a different region than the one affected by Storm Ciarán. The northern region of Emilia-Romagna was hit by heavy storms that caused 21 rivers to overflow, flooding hundreds of villages and towns. The floods triggered 280 landslides that blocked roads and railways, making rescue and relief efforts more challenging. The disaster claimed the lives of 13 people and forced thousands to evacuate their homes, while many others lost their possessions and livelihoods. The Prime Minister called a crisis meeting to address the situation. The Emilia-Romagna floods of 2023 were one of the most severe floods in the region's history. The floods were caused by heavy rainfall, which led to rivers bursting their banks and flooding towns and villages in the region. The floodwaters caused significant damage to property and infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and buildings. The floods also triggered landslides, which blocked roads and railways, making rescue and relief efforts more challenging. The Italian government responded to the disaster by declaring a state of emergency and providing assistance to those affected by the floods. The Prime Minister called a crisis meeting to address the situation and ensure that the necessary resources were available to support the rescue and relief efforts. Storm Alex was a powerful low-pressure system that brought intense rainfall and strong winds to parts of France and Italy in October 2020. The storm caused flash floods and mudslides, which affected the mountainous border region near Nice. Several villages were isolated and destroyed by the raging waters, and dozens of houses were washed away. The storm claimed the lives of at least 7 people on both sides of the border, and many more were reported missing. The disaster also left thousands of people without electricity and damaged crops and infrastructure. The impact of Storm Alex was devastating, with several villages being isolated and destroyed by the raging waters. The storm caused significant damage to property and infrastructure and left thousands of people without electricity. The disaster claimed the lives of several people and left many more missing, making rescue operations more challenging. The French and Italian governments responded to the disaster by providing assistance to those affected by the floods and ensuring that the necessary resources were available to support the rescue and relief efforts.
I don't know what that pipe is. Is that a railing or what in the hell is that? It's got a big hole in it. Yes, it does. A refrigerator. No. That fridge is going to break. Yeah, it's going.
The Cinque-Terre floods of 2011 were a flash flooding disaster that occurred in the picturesque coastal region of Cinque-Terre, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a popular tourist destination. The region was hit by a torrential downpour that lasted for several hours, causing rivers and streams to overflow and flood the 5 villages that make up Cinque-Terre. The floodwaters carried mud, rocks, and debris, destroying buildings, cars, and bridges. The disaster claimed the lives of 9 people and injured dozens more, while many others were trapped or displaced. The floods also damaged the famous hiking trails and the local economy, which relies heavily on tourism. The hiking trails are a major attraction for visitors to the region, and their closure had a significant impact on the local economy. The Italian government responded to the disaster by providing assistance to those affected by the floods and ensuring that the necessary resources were available to support the rescue and relief efforts. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for similar content. Make sure to ring the notification bell to stay informed about the latest uploads. Feel free to drop any questions or suggestions in the comments below. Looking forward to catching you in the next video.